You have a dataset and you want to train a model as soon as possible, but the dataset have some missing values and you want to treat them. In this video, you will learn all the important missing value imputation techniques in Python implementation. We will start by importing necessary libraries and reading the file from CSV to pandas data frame. And if we apply df.head, we will see our dataset in the Python environment. And here, as you can see, we have some missing values in many columns. And the best way to see the distribution of missing values is by using Missingno Library. By using Missingno.matrix method, you can see the missing values in the best visual way possible. In this graph, the white lines are missing values. And as you can see, in 5 columns we don't have any missing values, but in all other columns we have many missing values. And you will learn how to fill in these missing values in this video. Another way to find the number of missing values is by using df.isNow.sum. In this way you will see the count of missing values. And here we can also see that some of the columns have many missing values. Another way of seeing this is by percentage. By using this function, we can print out the percentage of missing values in a dataset. I will share the notebook with you and you can copy paste and use this function as well. Now let's move to solutions and see how we can treat this problem. The first two methods are the easiest and most straightforward ones. They are by dropping the missing values in our dataset. But this has some conditions. For example, if you have missing values in 50% of your rows, then by dropping the rows with missing values, you will lose half of the dataset, and you don't want to have this happen. That's why we will have some conditions before applying these methods. Let's see about dropping rows and see where we have applied it. And before that, I want to mention that you can drop rows only when there is a very low amount of missing values. For example, here we have dropped the columns with missing values in enrolled university, education level, last new job, and experience. And here, let's see the percentage. Enrolled university have 2% of missing values, education level 4%, last new job 3%, and experience 0%. It is not exactly 0, but very close to 0. That's why rounding is 0.0, but we have very small amount of missing values there. So if you have very small amount of missing values, for example, you have 1000 rows and there is 5 missing rows, then you can simply drop it and don't bother by inputting them, filling them. You just drop them and continue with model building. So when you want to drop rows, the condition is that the percentage of the missing rows is less than 5%. So if this is clear, let's move to the second method, which is dropping columns. For columns, we take an opposite approach. For example, you have 5 columns and one of them has 80% missing values. In this way, if you fill it with new values, you will have a biased column and it will not help your analysis. That's why when you have that high amount of missing values, you can just drop the column and continue with the others you have left. In our case, the most missing values is in company type, which is quite high at 67%, and we will just drop this column and we will not use it in our analysis. Why we do it? Let's say you fill this column and you will have 67% of new values which are not true values because they are not original values. You will have only 33% of original values, and you cannot be sure that this column will help you for true analysis. That's why we will drop the columns with high amount of missing values. Moving to the next method solution is mean, median, mode methods. These are very straightforward. You will use the mean, median, or mode of the column to fill the missing values. For numerical values, you will use mean, in other words, the average of the column, or you can use median, which is the middle element of a numerical column. And for categorical columns, you can use mode values to filling values. For example, in the gender column, we have used here mode value in order to fill the missing values. Gender column had for about 40% missing values, and we will use the mode value for that. The next method is a comparatively complicated method. I have called it divide and conquer. In this method, we will divide the column based on a condition. For example, we want to fill company size column. This company size column means that our dataset has employee data, and the company size means that the size of company you work at. So I have thought that when you have more experience, you are more likely to work in a better and bigger company. That's why if you have more experience, you should have more company. If you want to fill in company size column by using, for example, mode of the whole column, it will not be a true method because the people with less experience might have a company size of a big company. That's why here I will find mode for each experience column. For example, here I have called experience column to divide variable and company size column to conquer. For the experience column, we will divide and find a separate individual mode for every experience. And then we will find the mode of every experience and use it to fill the company size. For example, the most frequent appeared company size for a 2 years experience people might be, for example, here we have less than 10, and then we will use this value for filling the other columns which have a experience of 2. To sum up, you will use another column to divide a column you want to fill in, and then based on the mode values of the columns, you will have separate means, averages, medians, or modes, whatever method you choose. Then you will apply it separately to every class group. Moving to the next imputation method, which is random imputation. And by using random imputation, you will just fill in random values to the missing values. This method is based on that you will not have the same values for the random values. That's why you can just randomly fill in them and continue with your model training. Again, in this condition as well, if you have very large amount of missing values, it's not very safe method to use. It might be helpful when you have around 10% of missing values. The next method is the model-based method, which is very interesting method. In this way, you will use the models to fill your missing values. In normal conditions, our target column is the y value, and you will train a model to find the y values. But for the missing value imputation, you will take your column which you want to fill in our case, the gender column. We will use this column as a target column. I have a full guide on Medium. You can check it from the links in the description, and here I have put some graphics to better understand the missing value model-based imputation method. So let's pay attention to this graphic. We have other columns and the column which we want to fill in, and in the column we want to fill in, we have some full values and some missing values. So Other columns are all full, but the value with the column with the missing values has both present rows and missing rows. We will divide this dataset into two parts. The first part will have the full rows, and this will be called the train set. We will have other columns and the present rows, and for the test set, we will only take the missing rows of the offset column. After that, we will train our model based on the train set, and then we will use that model to fill the missing rows of the test set, which is our target column. I hope it's clear from these graphics. And if you want to check this Medium blog, you can do it. I have posted the theoretical part and then imputation in Python. Moving back to our code, here we will take this gender column, and then we will divide the column, divide the dataset into train and tested based on the missing values, and then we will apply some techniques to clear the dataset, and then you will take a model. Here I have choose nearest neighbors method classifier, but you can choose anywhere any model you want, and then you fit in the data and take the predictions, and that predictions will be your ready column. If you want to continue learning, you can check my Medium blogs from the links in the description. This will help you to better understand the topic by reading from the Medium blogs. Thank you for your attention, and don't forget to subscribe and like for support.